In Sydney, Customs and Border Protection officers have stopped a passenger who says he's returning from a business trip to China.
So what type of manager? What business?
Computer.
You do computer programming? Sales?
There are concerns about the man's frequent travel movements between Sydney and Beijing. And when his suitcase is opened, it raises even more questions.
Any clothing? No clothing? Any outfits, clothes? You got no shirts, you got this here, but that's it. Electric blanket. So where's your clothing?
My home.
Clothes, yeah.
My
Oh,
address.
at home?
Yeah.
So you got a home in China, Beijing,
Beijing, yeah.
and you got a home here. You don't travel with any clothing?
Having no clothes, only looked like a pressure cooker, and that was it. And his indication is, I live here and I live there and I don't need clothes.
A swab is taken of the man's belongings.
So you don't use any type of drugs, narcotics, no medication? No?
While the swab test will check for any traces of narcotics, items from his suitcase are x-rayed. Officers are trying to determine if there are any prohibited substances concealed in the unusual items he is carrying. Everything looks clear on the x-ray, but the swab test is telling a very different story. Over at immigration, officers have detained 3 men who have been referred by Customs and Border Protection after some suspect documents were found in one of the men's luggage. The documents indicate they are here to build a temple, which would be in breach of their tourist visas.
One of them being the boss, they refer him as a boss, and it appears that he probably has got his staff members here to help him to, work there.
Officer Rafiq will question the boss, Mr. Sai, while his 2 employees are interviewed by other officers. Mr. Sai owns a construction company in Saigon and was carrying the documents found by Customs.
What is your reason for coming to Australia today?
Mr. Sai will answer questions using an interpreter.
I'm here to meet my friend to have a holiday here.
And if he is given an opportunity to work, would he work in Australia?
No, I have my job in Taiwan.
Will you stay in a hotel or at a private address?
I will stay at my friend's place.
Okay.
Denying any intention to work during his 4-week stay, duty manager Tracy calls the man's onshore friend to verify his story.
Okay, so I think that they come to do some building work at a temple.
As she questions him further, Officer Tracy is surprised to discover she spoke to the same man the previous day, when another group arrived from Taiwan and were also questioned by immigration.
Okay, yesterday you said that the 5 people were your friends and that they would come for a holiday. Today, 3 more. And you have invited 19 people, all from the building industry.
The Customs and Border Protection mobile X-ray team have been called to the air cargo facility to inspect a large package from Thailand.
Some of the air cargo officers have identified a package that's of interest to us. They've done some initial X-raying of it. They've detected what we call anomalies. There's something a little bit suspicious. Okay, let's go. What we've got initially, it's 8 rolls of what's reported to be fabric. We suspect there might be something more to that.
Officers Wayne and Maurice have the task of examining the suspicious package.
I'm a bit suspect of those markings up there on the The roll looks a little bit inconsistent to me.
Yeah, it just looks very uneven and like not what you'd expect from just a tube.
Yeah.
There could be something concealed in here.
With the X-ray inconclusive, officers open up the package to take a closer look at the individual rolls inside.
It doesn't appear to be commercially packaged. It's just your ordinary kitchen cling wrap.
Feels like a bit of a hard, maybe like a cardboard type core. Let's run one through and see what it looks like.
Okay, X-ray's clear to go.
Okay. Definitely a possibility of something being loaded into that.
After returning from Beijing with no clothes and a suitcase filled with unusual items, Customs and Border Protection officers have received very strong readings for methamphetamines from this passenger's belongings.
So we've gone through the bag, we've done the X-ray, then we've taken first swab, came back a high reading, went to a second swab, came back another high reading. So we've gone to the next procedure, which is the steps we need to take to make sure that he doesn't have it on his persons.
Do you use any drugs? Any drugs, narcotics?
Drugs?
Yeah, like I asked, do you smoke? Do you... No? Don't take any amphetamines, no drugs?
No drug? Smoke?
Smoke? No?
No smoking.
Customs and Border Protection officers ask the man to undergo a frisk search to ensure he's not concealing any narcotics on his body.
That one? Can you read both sides of it for me, please?
While the passenger reads the card in his native language, officers take a closer look at these collapsible boxes he is carrying, as their hard lid has made them suspicious.
Do you consent to having the frisk search?
No problem.
No problem? Do you want it in a room? Okay.
While the frisk will be conducted in a private room, a swab is taken of one of the lids to determine if they too give a positive reading for narcotics. In Sydney, this Pakistani couple travelling with their grandchildren have been stopped by biosecurity after an X-ray of their bag showed some organic material.
On the X-ray image, we've found that there is some type of organic fruit or vegetable in there, so we are now going to proceed with an inspection.
They have failed to declare anything on their incoming passenger card. But it doesn't take long for Officer Laura to locate something that looks suspicious.
Okay, so what are these ones? What are these?
Sweets.
Sweets, yeah? And what are they made of? What are they made from? What are they made from?
This is
Milk.
Pakistan.
From milk?
Milk, yeah.
Okay. You cannot bring milk, sweets from Pakistan into Australia. Okay? It's not allowed.
Not allowed.
All right?
But it seems homemade sweets aren't the only food this family is hiding.
What's this one?
Mango.
Fresh mangoes. Okay. And the card says, includes dried, fresh, preserved, cooked or uncooked. You must say yes.
We have asked somebody, he said they stick no.
Oh, yeah.
They said what?
Number?
We have asked somebody, we don't understand it, so he said this mark no.
Okay, so it says at the top, if you are unsure, say yes. Okay?
While the sweets may be excusable, what Officer Laura is about to discover is not. Immigration have detained 3 tradesmen after documents found in one of their bags suggest they have come to Australia to work.
Okay, so I think that they come to do some building work at a temple.
Duty Manager Tracy has called their onshore contact, who says they are here as part of a group of 19 from Taiwan. But the reason they give for their visit seems suspect.
The people on shore, the onshore contacts, are saying that they're going to take them on a tour, that they're going to hire a bus, and they're going to take them to places. There is no bookings, no coach, and the accommodation at the moment, as I said, is in these guys' houses.
The documents found in the boss's suitcase are translated, and they appear to be worksheets for a job in Australia.
Australian temple. So this is the boss, and the last person here is your client. This is for sign-on, sign-off, overtime recording.
The men's claim they are simply here for a holiday is looking increasingly doubtful.
All right, let's go back and ask a few more questions.
Yep.
Okay, X-rays clear to go.
Okay.
Using a mobile X-ray unit, Customs and Border Protection officers in Sydney have X-rayed this roll of fabric and detected a possible concealment.
That's definitely suspect, that area
Look at
there.
that. But very uneven, not what I was expecting from just a roll with some material over it.
You can see quite clearly the difference in densities. So that indicates that there's some type of concealment within that. So the only way that we can really determine that further is to unroll the outer layer here, expose what's on the inside, which appears to be a hard cardboard type of roll, and then check that roll out.
But first, Officer Terry wants to get a better idea of what contraband may be contained in the rolls.
I've called our dog unit. They're going to attend and run their dogs over the concealment to see if we get a reaction. It's another form of technology that we use.
If the dog sits, it could be an indication that narcotics are present. After a frisk search in a private room was clear, Customs and Border Protection are still investigating whether these collapsible boxes belonging to this passenger contain narcotics.
It's got a bit of padding there, it could be inside, but when you feel it, you can come right down, unless it's a layer.
With positive drug readings from the man's belongings, officers cut one open and take a look inside. On initial inspection, the lids seem to contain only cardboard and foam. But to be sure, each lid will be individually X-rayed. The X-ray of the boxes is clear, and officers are satisfied the passenger is not carrying drugs internally. But questions remain as to what caused the high methamphetamine readings.
We've got drug readings, so something's been in contact with your bag. Drugs are not very good. All right, so make sure you know what's going on. All right, you're good. See you later.
Customs and Border Protection officers have assured themselves this man is not posing a threat to Australia's border. Immigration is interviewing 3 tradesmen who say they have come to Australia for a holiday. But documents found in the boss's suitcase suggest they are actually here to build a temple.
The bags that he had, we found some documents. It appears to be a timesheet for workers. This has got your name on it. I need to find out why are you carrying this document.
My wife packed the suitcase for me and somehow she forgot to take this for me. It is not supposed to be in my suitcase.
The heading of this timetable says Australian temple. It's related to something in Australia.
Yeah, no, that temple, we just want to visit the temple to worship the gods.
Yeah, you don't keep a timetable with and the timetable actually says overtime, so you don't do overtime when you visit a temple. There's another set of documents here. Is a list of some construction materials and equipments. Why is he carrying this one?
Confronted with such strong evidence, the man decides to change his story.
This list of the materials are something that will be brought over from Taiwan.
Yeah, that's right. I mean, he needs those things here to do his work.
No, we're not here to work. We're just here to check everything is right, and then we will go back.
Okay, so he is actually bringing all those things to supply to the work site.
Yes.
So he knows that there's some work going on at the temple.
Yes.
Oh, okay, yeah.
Officer Rafiq discusses the case with duty manager Tracy.
He's distanced himself from the work, but he is obviously
He
supplying,
admitted to this that I'm supplying these things.
and that is a work schedule.
Yeah.
Mr. Sai is informed of immigration's intention to consider cancelling his visa, and he has a surprising response. This family claims a fellow passenger told them to tick no on their incoming passenger card. But the food Officer Denise is finding concealed in their bags is inexcusable. They have sweets containing milk, and incredibly, they are carrying almost 4.5 kilos of high-risk fresh mangoes.
Fresh fruit like this is not allowed into Australia because it can bring diseases and it can bring pests. I asked you if you read all the questions. I asked you, did you read the questions?
I read
and
questions,
you
but
said
I don't
yes.
think so these are there.
Okay?
No,
I asked you if you understand
Yes,
the
now I
questions.
understand, yes.
You said yes, okay? And so you still said no for food. Okay, so today it's going to be a $220 fine.
There must be one.
You must pay, yes. This is too much to bring and not declare, okay? It's very important that you declare. And I asked you if you understood the questions.
If I declare, then no fine.
No fine if you declare. No, we still take it, but we try to teach people to do the right thing. If you're not sure, you say yes.
A Customs and Border Protection detector dog has shown a strong interest in this package from Thailand. And this means it could contain narcotics.
And the only way to determine if that is actually the case and what it is to conduct more intensive type of testing. So I've organised my team to take the roll back to another location and we'll do those tests.
It is the cardboard core of the roll of fabric that officers believe is suspect.
You notice that straight away, there's a layering effect on the cardboard. That suggests to me that this may have been tampered with.
Once the cardboard roll is exposed, officers notice more evidence that something is not right.
Well, what you can do, you can actually, when you run your hand along, you can feel the bumps in it. So what it appears to be is one large sheet of paper, or thin paper, rolled end over end over end over end to get it to this thickness. So what I'm suspecting is that the concealment is probably layered within one of these layers.
I'm digging in quite deep here, so this is quite a sophisticated concealment. Hello, look. That definitely shouldn't be there.
I believe there is reason for me to issue you a notice of intention to consider cancelling your visa.
Believing this man intends to work on a tourist visa, immigration is considering sending him and his 2 employees home. But he makes an unusual request.
Yeah, we're just here for a holiday, so would you be able to allow us to enter Australia and we'll be only here for a few days, then we will leave. Otherwise, if you send us back to Taiwan straight away, and we will lose face because people will know that we have been deported.
Taking the man's response and the evidence into consideration, immigration has made a final decision and will inform the passenger.
I have considered visa holder response and understand that he is concerned about his reputation. However, I also give great weight to the fact that the visa holder is carrying documents that indicate that he is coming to Australia for work. I have therefore decided to cancel visa holder's visa. You have been refused immigration clearance and you will be removed from Australia as an unlawful non-citizen.
Customs and Border Protection officers have just found what they believe to be narcotics concealed in this cardboard roll.
This is quite a sophisticated concealment. Hello, look, there's some masking tape. It looks like a bit of off-white powdery substance in there. Can you see that?
Yeah. This is actually quite deep. It's quite deep
Very
within the roll.
Yeah.
I reckon we can use some technology and find out what that is.
That's what we want.
Right, away you go.
Let's test this in the hazmat.
The hazmat is programmed to detect and identify a number of illegal substances.
We'll place that on the surface. Cocaine hydrochloride. That's a very good, strong reading.
Cocaine it is.
Yep.
To be sure, officers decide to carry out one more narcotics test.
The pink sits on top of the blue. So that's what I say we've got here. We've got coke in the roll.
Great day's work, yeah. It's a tremendous result all around. Quite a difficult detection.
The package will now be handed over to the Australian Federal Police for further investigation.